In terms of trailer predictions, my honest guess, I know that Tom Henderson, I think, has said that he expects it like August 6th. Right here, this is all budget towards GTA Online. Again, just not a single GTA 6 advert. But obviously, these are the things that we do want to see is reaffirmation, ahead of expectations. Before we go further, just to put out some of the reasons why I titled this something along the lines of Marketing Expert Explained. From the ages of 12 to about 18, I was making gaming content, then started working at the BBC, doing work like social media content and promotion for IPs like Sherlock. You can literally see me right here for an event that we actually did. This was, as you can see, back in 2017, so 9 years ago now. Worked on the Doctor Who game promotion, did Fortnite work as well, did quite well with that, with my content there. Valorant also worked with Riot Games on their promotional materials. So over the last decade, August 7 is consequential. It's an important one. It's the Rockstar earnings call. They have already announced that it will be August 7, which is about 1 week away. This one's going to be important because it's Rockstar's essentially last chance to be honest with investors if GTA 6 is likely to be delayed. They do have to say if they materially believe that it could possibly happen, that the game may not hit the launch date that they've expected, because that would essentially change investor guidance and so on. So they have a legal responsibility essentially to be very clear with investors in August whether or not they think that November 19 is likely to happen still. I don't expect, and this isn't a video of me talking about saying that it's going to be delayed, I don't expect it to be, but I do think we're going to find out some important information. One thing that people are worried about is the lack of marketing, and I have made a video about that already, but that was a couple of weeks ago, and unfortunately, frankly, that situation hasn't really changed very much. Like, Rockstar is not going all out on marketing in the way that people were hoping for. We're now at the end of July. This is basically, at this point, the grace period is ending when it comes to whether or not they're going to be doing something exciting for the summer. And we have already talked about that. Having said that, I do want to actually have a look at what I'm talking about with that. So this is essentially Rockstar Games Google Ads library. So this is where we would see any adverts going up on Google or YouTube that are essentially paid for by Rockstar Games. Now, they are advertising, but what they're not doing is advertising the thing that everyone wants them to be, which is GTA 6. Instead, they're advertising the GTA Online heist, which I find absolutely wild, given that the biggest entertainment launch of the decade is coming out supposedly in a few months from now, and this is literally all of their advertising. You can't see any GTA 6 logos. It's all about the court's heist. I do have my expectations for why that's happening. Let's also have a look at the Rockstar Games Facebook page. That can tell us, again, the ads library situation to see what is being advertised and what isn't. Now, again, we can see that they do have active ads happening, but literally none of it, and I literally mean none of it, is for GTA 6. Now, I'm going to explain why I think that is. We've already actually covered in a video why they don't have to really put out that much advertising, and long story short, for one, they already did do like 1 week of pre-order advertising. That's when all the pre-order information came out, all the screenshots came out, but since then they've really not done much with it. And given what was literally released like a couple of weeks ago, Newzoo, which is like an analytics firm, they don't have the actual information, but they do have data to make assumptions, and essentially they think that it's generated roughly 180 million in digital pre-order sales so far. That's in its first week. So that's actually in its first week, which means that it will have likely gone further than that. And they're expecting that by the end of launch week that they'll be doing $3.3 billion to $5.2 billion. That is insane. And frankly, that's exactly what they want. What that also means, though, is that it's not necessary that they actually have to put in hundreds of millions of dollars into marketing if people are buying it already, which I think also goes to show why they would want to advertise the court's heist. The reason being is that actually there's basically barely any hype around this heist because GTA 6 has cannibalized all that interest and attention and excitement. So if they do want to make their money back on the court heist, it's best to market it, because that's what you do for a product that isn't already selling itself in mass. That is my honest expectation as to why we're literally seeing both the Facebook ad library and the Google ad library just simply dominating with the court ties, because my understanding is it's basically a funnel into GTA Plus, which is what they want the most right now, is sales towards GTA Plus. The court ties, from my understanding, if you don't have GTA Plus, is going to be a bit of a difficult time, not as fun. Having said that, what do we expect to see for the GTA 6 August earnings call? We're going to have a look at what we've actually seen so far. So for one, there has been a concentrated pre-order burst. That's what we saw with Newzoo. Strong reach from a limited meta flight. We have already looked at it, but essentially, Facebook ad library has shown that the week of pre-orders is when they put out marketing. And similarly, they put in selective Google advertising. That's mainly been regional towards the UK and Europe, not so much with US Google rollout, which has surprised me. And the budget and creative attention has been returning to GTA Online, which is quite literally what we were showing right here. This is all budget towards GTA Online. Again, just not a single GTA 6 advert on their Meta Ads library, which goes over Facebook, Instagram, anything that has a Meta platform. And Rockstar is still withholding the sustained reveal and education phase, which basically means they're not telling us very much. They're sort of waiting for a reveal that they're obviously going to do themselves. So what it suggests is that pre-orders likely launch successfully. Organic demand appears to be exceptional, which doesn't surprise us in the slightest. Take-Two may not need heavy continuous spend to sustain awareness yet. Now, what's sort of frustrating but understandable from a business perspective is if we have a look at this Bloomberg interview, what I'm saying is literally what Strauss said like months ago.
And that's kind of astonishing in a business where the technology is continuing to change at a pretty steep rate. The anticipation for that title may be the greatest anticipation I've ever seen for an entertainment property, and I've been around the block a few times.
It's been 12 years now. Why does it take that long to come up with 6?
We set an intention, actually, to rest our intellectual property.
Okay, so the bottom line is that he's been very clear right here that he's already seen, that Rockstar, Take-Two have already seen absolutely unprecedented attention for this entertainment property. Obviously, that sounds good to investors, and that was an interview with a business show, essentially Bloomberg. So it's the sort of thing he has to say anyway, but the thing is that he's actually correct about it too. So what do we expect for the August 7 narrative? Basically to say that the visible campaign has not been huge or continuous. Management may frame performance around efficiency and organic strength, and heavier paid marketing likely comes closer to launch when conversion matters more. So basically, from that perspective, I'm literally saying that I think that they're actually in some ways waiting until they've revealed more and then putting more marketing dollars that they could have put on right now. They're going to put that, I think, once the game actually launches, to continuously retarget people with new clips of Jason, Lucia, missions, heists. Right now, there's a very limited amount of information that Rockstar have actually put out. They put out some screenshots, sure, but they haven't actually gone deep into anything. That, I think, is something that would be more worthy of marketing later on. So the most likely GTA 6 update here would be consumer responses have exceeded expectations. Pre-orders open on June 25th. So the reported quarter captures only a few days of activity, but management can still talk about what it has seen through July. So the sort of things that we're looking for here is the response to GTA 6 pre-orders has been extraordinary, reflecting unprecedented consumer anticipation. That is a very Rockstar line for sure, especially from Strauss Zelnick. So words to listen for would be ahead of expectations, strong across editions, record setting, strong across geographies, exceptional conversion, and extraordinary demand. This suggests that Rockstar is leaning on organic hype and earned media. Organic hype and earned media essentially means that Rockstar isn't paying Google and Facebook extra dollars to promote GTA 6. So yes, they are doing it for GTA Online, for GTA 5 basically, but not for Grand Theft Auto 6, which implies the current restraint may be deliberate budget sequencing and supports the idea that the bigger... Scared the heck out of me. I don't know if you could hear Google. My Google Assistant heard me then. It sounded like someone was in the room then. So looking at the advertising that they're talking about, limited advertising may be a bullish sign, and why August likely marks a transition, not the full campaign explosion. GTA 6 likely already has near universal awareness amongst the addressable gaming audience, being us basically. Constant impressions against already aware buyers can produce diminishing returns. Basically, if you are already going to buy it, why would they put more money to try and get you to buy it when you've already basically pre-ordered it? So in terms of what I'm expecting for us to see as a likelihood for this earnings call, for one, I do expect us to see 99% chance that the release date is simply reaffirmed. They're probably going to say they're confident in it and that it's going to happen, etc. Likely, but not as likely, is about the pre-order language. They're going to probably say, look, things have been extraordinary, but I don't think they're going to tell us everything because they don't have to at this moment. The pre-orders were not fully within this range in terms of time range for them to talk about it. That likely comes in November 9th, maybe, earnings call just before GTA 6 launches. The other likelihood is that marketing intensifies closer to launch. So they're probably going to say that we're going to be seeing more marketing around, say, September, October, November time, and they may well say that bookings guidance has raised, basically saying that they're expecting to make even more money than they originally said. Now, what I don't expect to see is major gameplay and online details revealed. So I don't expect they're going to go over the online launch timing, integration, gameplay systems, any of this stuff. What I do expect is that they'll probably go over it in a very extremely broad sense of just trying not to worry people. So they probably will say that we look forward to GTA Online in 2027 potentially, or I don't even know if they would go that far. I think they'd probably just say, like, we have exciting experiences awaiting the online portion, which has already seen dramatic uptick, because they can say that because GTA Plus has seen, and they've actually shown that in the earnings reports, GTA Online has seen, or GTA Plus, sorry, has seen a massive uptick. Of course, GTA Plus being their subscription service, and anyone who looks at investor calls nowadays will know that subscription services are like the gold rush right now. Actually be surprising here. At this point, the things that we don't want to see is things like no direct statement that the game remains on schedule. If they don't actually say that, that's not a good sign. We continue to target November. Again, it would be unsure, uncertainty language, avoidance of any pre-order performance language. So they will likely say that things have been strong. They're just not going to say how strong necessarily. If they explain that marketing has been described as beginning materially later than expected, that could signal a delay, but I don't expect it. And comments suggesting that production or launch readiness costs are running above plan, which again, just seems unlikely given that they're barely spending anything on marketing right now anyway. But obviously, these are the things that we do want to see is reaffirmation ahead of expectations, that the guidance basically means their predictions are maintained or even raised, and that they're saying that marketing acceleration will be promised over the coming months. So again, this goes back to, is the lack of marketing an issue? It is an issue for GTA 6 fans, but it's not an issue for GTA 6 as a whole. It's not an issue for Rockstar whatsoever. I honestly just think that they would be wasting money at this point if they put out huge amounts of marketing. I do still maintain the position that I am disappointed by the lack of small teasers that we've seen. I think it continues to add to the scarcity that they have, which is a very good thing for them as a business, but I do think that we could literally hear just like a voicemail from Jason to Lucia, even a 5-second one saying that he's back from the shop or something, or saying good morning to her even, or whatever it may be, just something that highlights some level of relationship between them. And the point of that is that we wouldn't learn a lot. They clearly don't want us to know much until we bought it. Makes sense entirely. But I do think that drip feeding more would have been cool, and I don't fully like the fact at all. In fact, really, I'm not a big fan of the website right now. And the reason being is the website itself is really cool, but I think drip feeding would have been nicer than this. So, the website hasn't changed for, over a month now, which is absolutely fine. It's just that, we've had 2 massive drops for GTA 6. We had the first drop, which was these 70 screenshots here, 51 Ultimate Edition benefits, and then 12 here. So this one is about like 63 screenshots. But the problem is that all of these were released, I think it was around the time that they announced a delay, right? But this, I think it would have been cool if like they released this stuff like weekly, or like, I don't even know, man. I think drip feeding does a lot. I think it maintains hype and excitement. But no, what it does excite me for is that I do expect that we're going to see a new version of Rockstar that we've never seen before when it comes to live service for GTA 6 marketing across Facebook, YouTube, Instagram, TikTok. I really think they're going to go hard on like short films, cinematics. And the reason I say that is because the other major developers like Epic Games with Fortnite, like Riot Games with League of Legends and Valorant, they are already in this place. They know that you have to, or at least you want to be competitive in the live service space now. You want to keep your consumers damn near obsessed, basically, as obsessed as they possibly can be with your characters. If people care about Jason and Lucia because they heard some drama between them on a voicemail, there's going to be more to look at, more to think about. Is Jason in the right? Is he in the wrong? Is he cheating? Like, there's so many things that they can do with storyline, and I think that they will. In terms of trailer predictions, my honest guess, I know that Tom Henderson, I think, has said that he expects it like August 6th. I'm in the place where I genuinely don't know. I'm not going to say that I think it will be there because it may not be. The number of times at this point where we've just like had expectations that have then been dwindled. It very much could happen, but I'm just not. It could happen at any point. It could happen today. It could happen tomorrow. It doesn't massively matter. I mean, it matters to us because we want to see it, but compared to like to Rockstar, it just doesn't. Either way, August 7, we'll be streaming the earnings call. So if you want to see what's going on there, I'm hoping that we get a bit of information on marketing as well. That'd be cool. But we shall see.